Hey there, Pisces. How are you today? Let's see what you get. Well, that was a terrible shuffle, so we'll try that one more time. Let's see. Let's try. For my Pisces collective. Okay. All right, Pisces. What you got going on right now? We got Pisces, 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 Pisces. Okay, you're opening with the King of Cups. Okay, followed by the Hermit. And then we're looking at the Seven of Swords. Or Seven of Wands. Excuse me, Seven of Wands. Okay. So this is your backstory or your recent past. So in the recent past, you're presenting here as the King of Cups. So, I mean, absolutely somebody who has control over not only their emotions, but oftentimes the emotions of those closest to them, right? With the Hermit, something here in the recent past obviously triggered you in a way, because here you're pulling your energy back to try to reassess the situation. So something had to make you feel unsafe. Seven of Wands. So you came out of this. The challenge in your recent past or your backstory is that you were rendered throughout this situation. You came out of it quite defensive. So something here definitely made you feel unsafe and caused you to pull your energy back so you could make sure this was a direction you still wanted to go in, is how it feels. Okay, so where are we currently? That's the backstory. So we can't change that. It's already happened. So currently, I have you with the Fool. Okay. To the King of Swords. And then the Seven of Pentacles in the challenge position. Okay, so the Fool being here would say that you've come out of hermit mode now. Now you're ready to try to take a leap of faith towards... I think you're trying to take a leap of faith out of whatever it was that triggered you, to be honest. Rather than a leap of faith into something, this feels like it's more of a leap of faith away from something in the current situation. Okay, the card at the center of your entire read is the King of Swords. So you have gone from being the King of Cups to being the King of Swords, making you incredibly intelligent, very analytical, very logical, very much somebody who is trying to function from a place of integrity and honesty, okay? And you expect the same from the people around you. I don't know that that's what you're getting from the people around you, okay? For that reason, we have the Seven of Pentacles. This is like you trying to, just like you did in hermit mode, except for now you're in a position where you're really trying to figure out if you're going to continue to invest in something that you have invested heavily in the past or whatever, or if you're going to go in a different direction. So to say you've been triggered here would be an understatement. Something here absolutely scared you or made you feel incredibly unsafe so that you feel like maybe you don't want to go in this direction anymore. That's how I see it. Okay, so where are we going from there? In the near future. Okay, in the near future, we've got you with the Nine of Pentacles. Okay. The Six of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles. So, for one thing, in the near future, I already had kind of assumed, because I said this Fool card was trying to jump away from something, I kind of felt as though you were opting to not reinvest, at least not right now, in this situation. Nine of Pentacles is all about you stepping into your independence. So this is you stepping into your power, which I feel like is something you're doing solo, more or less, right? This is a situation, it's a beautiful energy. It's a situation where you may want somebody near you, but you don't need them. I'm sorry, I'm choking. You definitely don't need somebody. Whatever there is to do, you can do it on your own if you need to. You know what I'm saying? And maybe you're proving that to yourself more than anything. Six of Pentacles is the next card over. This is speaking to the fact that you need reciprocity. You're by no means are you trying to be in a situation where you're giving more than you're receiving anymore. And you don't want to invest in anything unless you feel like there's going to be a way to, that it's going to pay back or something, that things are going to be even. Eight of Pentacles on the other side. You are having somewhat, this chair, you're struggling a little bit with justifying or finding a way to justify the amount that you've already invested here. Meaning that to walk away completely and energetically untie yourself from the situation is difficult for you because you've invested heavily here. And you don't want to think it's wasted time, right? That's not what you're into. The Eagles, wasted time. Anyways, that just popped in my head. Okay, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. I've got the Chariot, the Eight of Wands, and the Three of Wands. You're really pushing towards your future here. It's like you have this, I feel like you're saying to yourself, okay, I don't want this to be wasted time or time that I didn't spend well in the past, whatever. But I'll be damned if I'm going to waste any more. That's kind of the overall feeling here. Like the Chariot's the fastest moving card in the deck. The Eight of Wands is about communication. I think that you are demanding communication or else you're out. That's how it feels. You're tired of feeling like you're pouring into somebody and they are not pouring back into you. You know? You're tired of writing paragraphs and getting back okay, right? That's the kind of thing I feel here. Three of Wands, you're very focused on your future. Like if maybe you've just finally accepted or realized that you're not happy in the current and you don't want to push forward that way. You want to be happy. So that's what you're trying to alter here. Okay, I've got the Empress, the Nine of Wands, and the Justice card. So what you're saying is you're nurturing you. You realize that you've been wounded by this situation. And I think you have finally come into the realization that nobody's going to take care of you really if you don't take care of you. So it's time to pour into you, and that looks like what you're doing here. Justice is here because the scales will be balanced within this situation, without a doubt. So all in all, I would say you have been through a very dark period here, but it looks like you are coming out the other side of it at this point. And it looks like there's a lot of accepting the truth or realizing exactly what's happening here, but I feel like all of it's in a very positive light. It may not feel totally positive, but I assure you it's going in a positive way. So we'll get three more. I forgot to get an oracle card, so we'll get three more and get an oracle card. I got Nine of Swords, Six of Swords, and the Three of Cups. So with the Nine of Swords, you are stressed out. Okay, that's to be expected, right? There's a lot of change here. Six of Swords, you are definitely out to try to find a sense of peace, which you do not have currently, but that is what you're looking for. You want a sense of peace here so that you can actually exhale, right? Breathe out for a minute. And Three of Cups, it does look like you have some friends around you that are pretty significant support group. I don't know what happened to my oracle cards. Can't use them if I can't find them. Hold on. Oh, I don't see them. Okay, well. Oh, there they are. I found them. Which time you got left? 2 minutes. Okay, let's see. I'll get you one to see if there's a theme to this. I think I found the theme already, but we'll ask it. Okay. One for Pisces. What you got? What you got? We'll just open it up in the middle. There you go, right there. Why? Why is number 31. So are you working on the why? Trying to figure out why this all happened? Or why it happened the way it did? Maybe, huh? What you got? We got, that's funny. I opened it to breathe. Okay, 31. The essential meanings, motives, driving intention, the power of knowing the why. So I think you're trying to figure out why has all this happened? Why has it played out the way it did? That's okay. Keep asking those questions and you'll get your answers, you know. But for now, I think you just know that it's time for you to pour into you. That is the overall message I see here. And I think you're doing a great job of it, to be honest. Because I don't think it's been easy. Okay, that's what I have for Pisces. Hey there, Aries. How are you today? Let's see what you get, okay? Oh, excuse me. Okay, this one's going to be for my Aries. Put that there. Let's get you an oracle card first and see if there's a theme for your reading. Okay, for my Aries. I got a theme. We're going to go there. What'd you get? Regeneration. Okay, 46. Let me see. What we got on that real quick for 46. That's way back here. Okay, what was that one? So close. Regeneration. The essential meanings are rebirth, second chances, and new opportunities. So, we got that to start with. And now we'll go here. This one's for my Aries. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Alrighty, Aries. You're opening with the Hangman. Okay. Followed by the Emperor, which is your card anyways. That's a very good sign, right? And then I've got the Eight of Wands. So, this is your backstory or your recent past. The Hangman being here would say that you're feeling stuck in some sort of situation for some reason, which is not normally like you, so we'll have to figure out why that is. Okay, the Emperor is the next card over. Possibly you are stuck because of your ego or your unwillingness to compromise in a situation. That would pretty much make sense there, huh? It seems that the challenge in this particular situation right here, which is your backstory or your recent past, the challenge is the Eight of Wands. So the challenge is some sort of a block in communication. So are you in some sort of a disagreement here where you are not communicating any longer with this person and you are unwilling to find a sort of compromise here? Therefore standing in the way of this regeneration? Yeah. All right, let's see. That's the backstory. Let's see where you're at currently. What you got going on, Aries? Let's see. So currently I have you with the King of Swords. Okay. Excuse me. The Four of Swords is actually the card in the center of your read. And the challenge is the Knight of Wands. Okay. King of Swords. So you have decided to pull your emotions out of whatever situation we're talking about here. That's it. You're not going to care anymore. Emotions are put away. This is all about you looking at everything very black and white. Very right and wrong. That's it. There's no gray area. And we're still unwilling to compromise, right? Okay, card in the center is all about healing, which is something I feel like you desperately need to do in this situation and something you're absolutely not doing. And then we have the challenge here. The challenge is the Knight of Wands, which makes me feel like you have said or done something that came from a place of not thinking out what you were going to say or do first. Very impulsively. Okay, let's see where we're going from there. Okay. So for Aries, what do we got in the near future? I've got Justice up front. Could be a Libra you're dealing with, doesn't have to be, but Justice to what? The Six of Swords. And the challenge is the Nine of Swords. Well, this is you, Aries, okay? And this is whoever you're dealing with. Whoever this disagreement with is right here. And this person right here is sailing away. They have decided that you are the catalyst to some sort of constant chaos and uncertainty. And all they want right this minute is a sense of peace. So, in order to find peace, it looks like they are sailing away. The challenge here is that this is stressing you out. You did not expect this person to sail away. So I feel like this has been somewhat of a blow to your ego. All right, what do we got on the bottom? I've got the Ace of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, and the Nine of Pentacles. So with the Ace of Pentacles, I feel like there's an opportunity to try to figure this out. But you see, the next card is the Page of Cups. So you would have to apologize. Because even if you're not 100% in the wrong, Aries, you're somewhat in the wrong here. So this would truly have to be some sort of a blow to your ego, right? You would have to compromise and apologize, it looks like. Because this person, the Justice person, they're stepping firmly into their independence at this point. And that's a good thing. But I'm saying it may not be the best thing for you in this situation, because once they come out of the box that they were in and they are not as naive and they do understand their worth, it is not as easy to control them. And the longer you leave them there without coming through and swallowing your pride and coming through and saying you're sorry or whatever, the stronger in this direction they will get. And the further from you that will push them. And I'm sure right now you've got your arms folded and you're saying you don't care. And that's fine. Go with it then. I know you really do, but that's okay. We've got the World. Yeah, the cycle's going to close unless you change something. Three of Pentacles and the Magician. You're manifesting an opportunity to be able to collaborate with this person again, right? But with the World card here, it's like this cycle is closing out, and it's closing out because of your own stubbornness. I'm sorry. I know you probably already turned this off anyways, unless it's a cross-watcher. They don't want nothing to do with this probably, but it's the truth. This is a hard pill to swallow, I have no doubt. There needs to be regeneration, but you're not allowing that to happen right now because you're not willing to say you're sorry and compromise. So that's pretty much how I see this. Get 3 more, we're out. Yeah, the Death card, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Five of Cups. There's going to be a transformation here for both of you, but I don't think it's coming together. It's a transformation apart. Ten of Pentacles, there's definitely something about you possibly taking some sort of financial hit here. And the Five of Cups. In the end, unless you change something quickly and dramatically, you will end up with a sense of loss and regret here. But so be it. I mean, then that is just a lesson that you learn, and that's that, right? You go forward in life. Yeah. There's still a chance to try to turn this around right this minute, I feel like, but I really don't feel like you're up to it right now. If you are, that's a great way to go. If not, then there's lots of lessons in life. This is just going to be one. Okay? That is what I have for you this week, Aries. There you go. Hey there, Taurus. Okay, let's see what we got for you today. So for my Tauruses. Okay. Okay, we've got Taurus. Taurus, Taurus. Okay, put that down and get this first. Look at you one oracle card to see if we can get a theme. Okay. For my Tauruses, what you got? Okay, we'll go there. Thinker. So number 44, it is Thinker. Taurus, 44. There we go. The essential meanings are strategy, being analytical and logical. So, is that where you're at right now, or is that where you need to be? Let's find out. Okay. This one's going to be for my Tauruses, Tauruses, Tauruses. All right. You are opening with the Eight of Swords. Well, that definitely fits in with Thinker. Kind of an overthinking card, but here we go. All right. Eight of Swords to the Three of Pentacles. So the basis of this thinking seems to be some sort of collaboration. And the challenge is you can't decide whether or not you want to continue to invest in whatever this is. So there's something that you've already heavily invested in that right this minute you feel unsafe or unsure if you want to continue forward with it. And if you do, you're not sure how much you're willing to gamble on it. Where once I don't think you even considered it a gamble. You were just in. Now you're very uncertain. So that's your backstory. We'll build from there, but this is something that's already taken place. We're just building on it. Okay, so let's see. Where are you at currently? Currently, I have you with the Chariot. Possibly you're dealing with a Cancer, but you don't have to be. Followed by the Ten of Wands. Okay. And then I've got the Ten of Swords as the challenge. Okay, so somebody is pushing you to make some sort of decision. You're obviously in an overthinking sort of mode right now. You're very much so up in your head about a situation, and somebody wants you to decide. They want decisions made. This is the fastest moving card in the deck. So this is somebody who's basically pushing you in a way that feels very uncomfortable. They're trying to push you to make decisions. Ten of Wands is the card at the center of your read. So from almost every direction, it can somehow play into the equation. Ten of Wands is speaking of a very heavy burden. You feeling very burdened by the entire situation. You carrying the guilt or the responsibility of something that seems very heavy, and it's definitely slowing down your ability to move forward in life right now. The challenge in the current situation is a betrayal of some sort. I get the feeling that the betrayal that is challenging you currently has something to do with the betrayal that's from your past. However, it's something that you can't help but carry with you so that you judge other situations with this in mind, right? I don't feel like your current situation has betrayed you. This is from the past. Okay, let's see where we're going from there. What do we got in the near future? Okay, near future for Taurus. Seven of Cups. Okay. Knight of Swords. And the Five of Pentacles. Seven of Cups is telling you that you have, there's many options. There's many different directions you could go in. Doesn't mean they're all great options, but they are there. Always better to have them than not have them. Possibly there's almost too many. It feels like it's very overwhelming to you in the near future. With the Knight of Swords, all you want is a sense of clarity. And you want peace. You want this to go back to feeling calm. You want your life to go back to feeling calm. The Five of Pentacles becomes the challenge in the near future. So I feel like you are exiting a situation here because you're feeling very alone here. What you got on the bottom? Let me see. King of Pentacles, Four of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles. Wow, King and Queen of Pentacles, huh? This here speaks of you feeling dissatisfied within a union that is basically, in my opinion, like the best union you can have in this deck of tarot cards. The King and Queen of Pentacles, that is the happily married couple. But in the middle of it is this Four of Cups, so there's something here where you're very disappointed or dissatisfied in this dynamic. Almost feels like you walk away from something. I don't think you walk away from this dynamic, this union. You walk away from something, and I think that you don't have the support that you thought you were going to have in this union. Meaning you thought if you decided to walk away from something, this person would have your back or be, in your corner, and it feels like that is not the support that you get. That's what makes you feel alone. What else you got? Two of Cups, the Magician, and the Fool. In the end, I think you care more about the fact this person's not in your corner than you do whatever you were overthinking in the beginning. You're manifesting an ability to be able to fix the situation at home over everything else. Taurus, I feel like the situation at home got screwed up because you were so far in your head. I feel like this person felt almost neglected because you weren't paying attention to them or their situation. You were too busy paying attention to something outside of the house. The Strength card, the Seven of Swords, and the Four of Wands. Did you step out on this relationship or something? What did you do? You definitely paid attention to something outside of the house to a degree that was not okay. Okay? And all of the rest of this is the fallout. It's the fallout from you paying attention to something else. I'm not saying you necessarily stepped out. Maybe it was just a friendship, or maybe it was just, I don't know. But this person at home felt definitely neglected. And that's what's causing all the rest of this problem, because in the end you realize what really meant something to you was what you had at home. But now it's all about you having to show a great deal of inner strength to try to mend it, because this person feels, I don't know, unseen, not special, something. And this is definitely your higher level soulmate, so this is something that you need to work quite tirelessly, in my opinion, to try to fix. This person is hurt by what could be viewed as nothing other than neglect, although I don't know that it was intentional. That's how I see this. I don't know. Let me see. What else you got? The Hierophant. Yeah, this is a marriage. That's also your card, so you're standing in your power, and then Temperance and the Ace of Cups. So there's absolutely a chance to pull this back together and fix it, but it's going to take patience, and it's going to take strength. However, you have boatloads of both, so this should be just fine. Just know that it's something you're signing on to. It's not going to be an overnight fix, okay? All right, that's what I see right this second for Taurus. Okay. Okay, hey there, Gemini. Let's see what they have to say for you. Gemini, okay. for my Geminis. What are we doing? Oops, let's put this one away and get you an oracle card and see how that works out. Okay, for Gemini. Just get you a theme for this reading all together. What you got? Gemini. Okay. Clean it up. What you got? Number 21. Clean it up. Well, you better get to cleaning then, huh? Let's see what you got. 21. Where are we at here? 19. We're close. 21. Clean it up. I say the essential meaning is getting to the core of a situation. Freedom from a burden, cleaning house, sweeping away what is no longer needed. Alrighty. I'm not a huge fan of cleaning, but okay, we're going to clean something up here. Got to get to the bottom of something. Let go of what you no longer need. Okay. Got it. Okay, for my Geminis. All right, from the top. So we're opening with the Two of Wands. Okay. To the Moon. And then I have the Three of Cups. So, this is your backstory or your recent past. Two of Wands is all about you being at a crossroads, needing to make a decision, right? We have to decide which path we're taking to the rest of our life, basically. With the Moon card, I feel here you are not seeing, or you were not seeing in the recent past things clearly. And I can't help it. It feels like it was because you didn't want to. So, I mean, I think the facts were in front of you, but you were opting to maybe not look at them or not see them. Okay, Three of Cups. To me, this one feels like somebody is overindulging in something, or they were in the recent past. I think the clean it up has a lot to do with cleaning it up, as in they want you to sit back and look at things for what they really are, not what you want them to be. And it's time for you to put some sort of an end, curtail some sort of overindulging here. Because it's just pushing forward the narrative that you're not seeing things clearly, this overindulging in something. You're trying to run from something you don't want to deal with or see. But they're asking you to instead clean it up. Turn around and look at what's really there and try to figure out how to fix it, get rid of it, do something. Running from it is not helping you. That's what I see in that part. So let's see where we're going from here. Okay, that's your backstory, so we've already done that. It's just telling me where we're coming from. So where are we at currently? Currently, I have you with the Eight of Cups. Okay. The Tower is the card at the center of your read. And the Ace of Swords is in the challenge. So, Eight of Cups is all about you figuring out how to walk away from something that is no longer serving you. For some of you, it could be whatever this overindulging is. For others of you, it is a situation in general. And then for yet some more of you, it could be that you are just trying to walk away from a way of being or a way of thinking. So possibly you're somebody who is allowing yourself to be controlled by an overwhelming insecurity or coming from a place of lack. And that is what you need to walk away from, right? With the Tower in the center, you are trying to build right now on a foundation that cannot sustain you, okay? And it's because it's basically, you're not seeing things clearly, you know what I'm saying? What you're building on is not the reality. You're building on something as far as what you want it to be, but not what it really is. You need to look at this stuff for what it really is, okay? Is how I see this. Ace of Swords being the challenge is you not wanting to look at the truth of the situation, I feel like. Maybe you don't want to admit defeat, or maybe you don't want to, I don't know, admit that you picked the wrong direction. But you're not getting any closer to the right direction by just covering your eyes and pushing forward in the wrong direction, right? That's how I see it. Okay, let's see. Where are we going in the near future? Near future, what you got? Okay. Ace of Cups. Knight of Pentacles. And the challenge is the Nine of Swords. Well, Gemini, it looks like there's an opportunity and love coming towards you here in the near future. And it looks like you are incredibly cautious, even defensive, and somewhat stagnant about pursuing it. So I think something is being sent to you that is honestly like a gift. Okay, this is an opportunity. You don't have to take it, but I think you're being nudged to. However, I don't know that you are moving forward towards it. And it is because of the Nine of Swords. There's just a tremendous amount of stress and anxiety towards this love opportunity. Possibly because you are having such a hard time seeing this other situation clearly. Right? Okay, what you got on the bottom? The Chariot. Maybe that's out here. The Moon. So the Moon could be Pisces or Cancer, and the Chariot could be Cancer that you're dealing with. Doesn't have to be, but it could be. Okay, Six of Wands and the Ten of Wands. So you're heavily burdened here by what other people are going to think of this situation. I think it's the new situation that's burdening you. With the Chariot, whatever this is, it's like it's only going to be sitting in front of you for so long. You're going to decide to take advantage of this opportunity, or you're not going to get to take advantage of this opportunity. It's not going to just stay there for an extended amount of time. It's like either you have faith in spirit and, you know, the opportunity as a whole, or it's going to go on. Okay, what else we got? I've got the Devil, okay, of course, the Five of Wands, and the High Priestess. So the Devil and the Five of Wands, you're heavily conflicted, and I do believe it is because of an insecurity. You're coming from a place of lack here for some reason. With the High Priestess, I think you try to keep that very hidden, meaning I think people around you don't realize how insecure you are, or the fear you're dealing with. It's like it's the big secret, right? I've got the Four of Cups, the Page of Cups, the Page of Wands. Pages. I mean, a lot of pages means that you're coming from somewhat of a naive position, or some... what's on the bottom? Ace of Pentacles. Four of Cups would say you're quite disappointed or dissatisfied with the way things in your life have played out to this point. Page of Cups. I think this is you needing to apologize to yourself and let yourself off the hook for this. I mean, so you didn't make every turn the right way. Sometimes it happens. You got to learn the lesson and move forward. Page of Wands. I do believe you're forgetting that life is supposed to have some sense of fun to it. You're too busy being angry with yourself for the things you've gotten wrong. Punishing yourself, I suppose. I don't know. Gemini, you got to leave the past in the past, and you got to look at things realistically. Keeping your head in the clouds has gotten you to where you are right this minute, which is where you're not satisfied with the situation. So if this didn't work, maybe you should try it the other way, which would be to look at things realistically. I'm just saying, can't hurt to try. And this insecurity is something that you've definitely got to try to work through, because it's going to continue to rear its ugly head and hurt you if you don't. You're enough, okay? If somebody else doesn't see that, then they're not the right person. That's how I see it. Okay, that's what I got. Alrighty, for my Cancers. Let's see what you got. We're going to get you a card, an oracle card, to see if we have a theme, and then pull tarot, okay? So, hey. Okay, it doesn't want to shuffle. What do we got? Go in there. Okay, well, who do we get? Who's this one? I fell out. The Fates. The Fates is number 17. What does the Fates speak of? Let me see. 15, 16. The Fates. The essential meaning is fate, karma, acceptance, and there are things you cannot change, and knowing what those things are. So accepting that there are things you cannot change and knowing what those things are. Okay, Cancer. Do you know which things you cannot change? Yeah. Things that you can't control and you must accept. That's what we're speaking of, I think. Let's see. Okay, this one's going to be for my Cancers. Alrighty. Okay, Cancer. You're starting with the Seven of Cups. Okay, followed by the Magician. And the challenge is the Ace of Cups. So, this is your backstory or your recent past. To me, it feels as though you manifested many options, okay? This is what happened in the recent past. You wanted, I don't know, different choices, things to try to pick from. It does feel like it's in a romantic sense for a lot of you. The challenge became that you unintentionally found something that you did care about within these options, and that was not on your agenda at this particular time. So finding something that meant something to you like this was not what you wanted. You wanted to stay in sort of a King of Wands sort of a persona, it feels like. But you got tripped up. If that's not the case, then this looks as though you were in a situation and possibly going outside of the situation, hoping to just have fun, and in that you got caught up. Whichever way you want to see it, somehow you ended up where the Ace of Cups is the challenge. So the fact that you found something that meant something became the challenge in the situation. However, this is your backstory, so this has already taken place. So this just tells me what we're building off of. So there you go. So with the fates, this is understanding what you control and what you cannot, or this is karma, one of the two. Let's see where we're going. Where are we at now? So in the current situation, it looks like we have Four of Pentacles, followed by the Ace of Pentacles, okay, and then the Tower. So no matter what happened here, however this played out, whether you had somebody and went out playing around and got caught up, or whether you were just out playing around in general without being connected to anybody and managed to fall in a way that you weren't intending. Either way, right now what we have for sure is you not wanting to energetically or realistically let go of something or everything. So you're hanging on for dear life to whatever it is that... For those of you that were in something and found something else, then this is you hanging on to both things, right? Not wanting to let either go. Otherwise, this is you still wanting to play around and finding something that matters you don't want to let go of. Okay. Ace of Pentacles in the center. So this is the card in the center of your read. From almost every direction, it will play into the equation. Ace of Pentacles speaks of a new opportunity coming towards you. This one is not love, I don't think. This one seems to be a financial opportunity of some sort, or attached somehow to money. And then we have the challenge in the current situation, which is the Tower. So, I don't understand how the money's playing in, but okay. It looks like you're stretched in too many different directions here. You can't really decide on a path wholeheartedly. It's causing you to try to build on a foundation that is not sturdy enough to sustain you, right? Because I get the feeling it's not being built on honesty right at this point. And as far as the fates go, this could very easily be karma, coming back. Let's see. Let me see. So where are we going in the near future? Eight of Cups. So whatever it is, the option that you don't want to let go of right now, it looks like it will walk away from you unless something changes quickly and dramatically, I think. Queen of Swords. So this is how you're presenting. So you're being incredibly defensive and very cold towards the situation in general. This reminds me of that saying, hurt people hurt people. So this is like somebody hurt you in the past, and so you are basically functioning in a way to try to get even with the wrong person, Okay, like you're trying to hurt somebody before they can hurt you is almost the dynamic I feel here. Six of Wands is in the challenge position. Yeah, because I think you tried to play the victim possibly in this situation, but that is not standing up. So the court of public opinion seems to be turning against you in some way. Or this is the near future, so if you don't change something, that's how this seems to be going. I have the Chariot, which is your card anyway, so you're standing in your power. Here we go, the King of Wands. I knew they'd be here. And the Five of Pentacles. So there is a part of you that desperately wants to stay in this King of Wands. You desperately want to stay in this player energy, right? This nothing but a good time. Here for a good time, not a long time sort of an energy. But there's another part of you that doesn't want to be there anymore because you find it very lonely. Very empty. You are absolutely having a hard time reconciling two different parts of yourself that both seem to be raging right now. Okay, what else we got? I've got the King of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Ten of Cups. Yeah, this is the two sides of you. These are the two sides of you that you can't seem to reconcile right now. Part of you wants Ten of Cups and total commitment, and the other part of you just wants to run free as fast as you can with no emotion. Well, that, my dear, is a problem. You have to settle on one thing or the other. Let's see, 3 more and I'm out of it. The Sun, the Death card, and the Empress. I do believe that your counterpart here is coming through as the Empress. This is somebody who's trying to nurture the situation, but unless something changes fairly dramatically and very soon, I feel as though this person is preparing to enter a transformation. And I don't think you're on the other side of it. I think the reality of the situation has started to sink in for this person, for your counterpart, not so much for you. I get the feeling that possibly the karma in all this is that it will sink into you a couple days too late. You can't treat people like this, Cancer, unless this is how you want to be treated. So that's how that works, right? If you don't want something serious, then just cut the person loose. And if you do want something serious, then you need to settle in, is what I see. At any rate, that is what I have for you this week. Okay, there you go. Well, hey, Leo, there's always one, right? I do 12 in a row, and there's always one that doesn't seem to work out. Today it was yours. Apparently the camera wasn't filming when I did yours, so I'm back to get this one done. So let's see, we're going to open it up with an oracle card and see if we can find a theme for the whole thing. And then, I can count to 10. That's it. I went to 11. Oh, well. Okay, and then we will move on from there. Well, then we'll use tarot to see. Okay, so this is for your weekly reading. Here we go. Let's see. For Leo, what do we got? For Leo. Okay, Leo. Let's see. Come right there. What'd you get? Okay, you got orphaned. So this one is very much so like the 5 of Pentacles in tarot. But let me jump in here and see. Orphaned is number 5? I think so. Sorry. Number 5. Okay. Where are we going? Right in here. Okay, how about that one? What do we got here? That's 11. That's too far. Okay. 7. I'm going to read it. Watch. Okay, 6. We are so close. We got it now. Orphan. So the essential meanings: a sense of loss, an identity crisis, recognizing that you don't fit in, the need to belong, uncertainty about your place. So maybe you're having a bit of a tough time right now. Like I said, it's very similar to the 5 of Pentacles, I believe. But let's pull tarot and see what we get, okay? This one's for my Leos. All right, for Leo. Okie dokie. Okay, we've got Leo, Leo, Leo. All right. We're going to open up. Okay, you're opening up with the 10 of Pentacles. So there we go. 10 of Pentacles to, excuse me, the Knight of Swords. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles is in the challenge position. This is your backstory or your recent past. So 10 of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. So it feels like here in the recent past, or your backstory consists of you basically building an empire, more or less. So you had to have built a sense of legacy, or you built abundance, basically. Okay, it looks like you had that built. The next card over being the Knight of Swords, you're looking for clarity right now. And I feel like you're looking for clarity about what has happened to whatever this abundance was. Because with the Orphan card in the front, it feels as though maybe something here, you had established the happy home, or the whatever, the abundance going forward, right? You basically had achieved that. But it must have been in a union, and it looks as though things have definitely gone south, huh? The challenge in this row is the Ace of Pentacles. So there was a new opportunity that came in for somebody. I don't know if it came in for you and you exited the situation, or if it came in for your partner, but it would seem that that is why you are feeling orphaned. So let's see. This has already taken place, so we'll see what's happening now. Let's go to the current, but this is what we're building off of, it looks like. Okay, so what do we got in the current? Let's see. We got the King of Swords. That makes sense, yeah. We have the Knight of Wands. And in the challenge position, I have the Two of Cups. Okay, well, whoever exited this situation for a new opportunity obviously had some sort of a new relationship attached to it, is how this looks. I don't know if it was you or your partner, but looks like somebody left for a new financial opportunity, but it was attached to a union. So I feel like right now you're presenting as the King of Swords. You are very logical, very intelligent. You're very intellectual right this second. You're trying to look at everything as being black and white. You're trying to keep emotions at bay. Trying to look at everything like you're Spock or something, you know, no emotion, no passions, just very, very, whatever they call that, middle line right there, you know what I'm saying? You are trying to function from a place of integrity and honesty, but you're doing it from a very, and you're being very strategic here about something, but at any rate, all of this is happening because of, I don't know, I have a cat crying somewhere, but anyways, all of this is happening because of somebody's impulsive actions. So I am not clear on whether it was you or them, but somebody acted impulsively, and that is what caused this to blow up, it looks like. Sorry, I don't know. I think the cat is over there. We'll see in a minute. All right, let's see. Keep going. What do we have in the near future? I have 8 of Pentacles, and then the 4 of Pentacles, and the 9 of Swords. So, 8 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, 9 of Swords, huh? All right. 8 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles. So you're having a very hard time letting go of this, or? I get the feeling, to be honest with you, that it almost feels like you walked away from this. This is how it feels to me. That you walked away from this for a different opportunity. I do believe it was quite possibly attached to some sort of union, okay? And I get the feeling that maybe that didn't pan out the way you wanted it to. And now you're trying to come back, or now you realize what you left. Is that what we're doing here? And so you're coming back around? If that's not your situation, then I would think it's vice versa, because that's clearly what the cards say to me here. I'm just not clear on which person is in which part. But somebody here feels as though they're totally committed to this at this point. They did not at a point before, right? But not now they do. 4 of Pentacles, they don't want to let go. 9 of Swords, they're up in their head. There's a lot of stress, associated with this whole thing. Now we've got the Queen of Swords, Queen of Cups, and the Hermit. So, Queen of Swords is your divine counterpart. However, it's not the happily ever after kind of divine counterpart. It could be a power couple as far as money goes, maybe, because there's a lot of intelligence and a lot of strategy involved. You're miscoupling, but there is no emotion in this coupling, so it's not what I would say is the ideal, in my opinion. But there's also a Queen of Cups. I think the Queen of Cups is whoever, whatever it is, the person, whoever. There were 3 people here, okay, at one point. There's the 2 people that were involved in this relationship and a third situation somewhere. Anyways, the Queen of Cups, and in this picture, she is clearly pregnant. So I don't know if there's a child someplace in this mix or not, but for those of you that's an issue, that you're wondering, that seems to be something here. With the Hermit, this is speaking to you trying to pull your energy back to figure out exactly what you want. From where I'm sitting right here reading these cards, it looks like maybe it's a little bit late for you to be trying to figure that out. A little bit. I think there's been a lot of damage done here already. The Queen of Swords is absolutely like a divorcee or something. I mean, they're not normally somebody who is part of a happy-go-lucky union. Not normally. Let's see. Let's see what else you got. Okay, where am I on time? Okay, so we've got the 2 of Wands, the Tower, and the Strength card. I mean, the Strength card is your card, and it's coming in after the Tower, so I feel like, I think you're still trying to recover from this Tower. I do believe it's already fallen. The 2 of Wands, this is you trying to figure out what path you want to take to the rest of your life. Because I feel like you have options. I just don't know that going backwards is one of the options. I really don't. It does not feel like it. I feel like there is too much built up, resentment and issues here to try to go backwards. That's what I see. 3 more. Let's see. The Knight of Cups, Temperance, and the Star card. I mean, Temperance and the Star card is a beautiful energy. It's an energy of hope and faith. It's an energy of patience and waiting for things, and it's all about healing, things being balanced out and healing in the long run, and it's a good energy. And with the Knight of Cups in front of it, I feel like there's some sort of an offer that's going to come towards you, but I don't know that it's going to come towards you until you can close this out. But close it out the right way, right? That's how I see it. Yeah. You know, everybody has missteps at times, and I'm not even going to say this was totally a misstep. I don't know. But it looks like maybe you're thinking it was a misstep at this point. But, you know, shake it off. What's done is done. You take accountability where you can, and you say you're sorry if you have to, and you move forward, right? That's how I see it. And I don't see where it makes any sense to sit around and really dwell on it like that, you know. As long as you've got the lesson learned, then move forward. Okay, that is kind of what I see here. It looks like you're in a phase of trying to figure yourself out and trying to rebuild, because it does look like you've taken a hit here. Okay, as far as finances go or something. That's what I got. All right, then. That was Leo. Where'd it go? Right there. Hey there, Virgo. Let's see what we got for my Virgoians. Let us check into this. For Virgo. Let's start with an oracle card and see where your energy's at, or where your, if we can get a theme. That's it, a theme for this reading. Okay, for my, where are we going to go? Go up here, Virgo. You got Come to the Edge, 36. All right, let me look into that. Come to the Edge, 36. 36. Whoops. Where are we at? 39. That's close. 37. Okay, one more. Come on. Okay, we got it. Come to the Edge. Essential meanings. Courage, taking a leap of faith, overcoming fear, and accepting risk. So basically like the Fool card then, huh? All right. Is that where you're at, Virgo? Is it time for you to take a leap of faith? Let's see. This one's going to be for my Virgos. I've got Virgo. Okie dokie. Let's see where we're at. We are opening with the Queen of Wands. Okay, followed by the Four of Pentacles. Okay, and then the Seven of Cups is actually in the challenge position. So this is your backstory or your recent past. You're presenting here as the Queen of Wands, so you are somebody who's very confident, very fiery, very passionate. Somebody who's very used to getting whatever it is that they put any effort into, or whatever it is that they want. Okay, not used to like being told no, or not managing to get what they're after. That's how you're coming across here. With the Four of Pentacles, there's something here that you are hanging on to. It feels as though it is something that is no longer serving you. So something that it's run its course, but you are refusing to let go of it for some reason. For some of you, this is kind of like a, I don't want to say a dream, that sounds messed up, but it's something that you were trying to work towards, and it's never quite come to fruition, and now you're refusing to let go of it, even though there are other directions you could go in that would work out much better for you, I guess. Anyways, the Seven of Cups is in the challenge position, so you are challenged by the amount of options that you have. It seems overwhelming to you. Or maybe you have many good options around you, but you are insisting on holding on to the one that is not the right direction for you. And I feel like it's tied into the fact that you're used to getting what you want. So it's not easy for you to accept that this might be something you're not supposed to either get or succeed in. That's how I see that part. So this is your backstory. This part's already basically taken place. But this is what we're building off of for this reading. We're going to keep going. Okay, there we go. So what do we got in the current? Current is Five of Pentacles, followed by the High Priestess. And the challenge is the Knight of Swords. Okay, so the Five of Pentacles in the current situation would say that you are basically feeling very alone in the situation. Coupled with the High Priestess, it's like you're feeling very alone and you don't want anybody to know that you're feeling alone. So you're feeling alienated or left out in the cold. You're just feeling like you don't fit in, or like you're not a part of something here. But that's a secret, basically. You are trying very hard to keep that under wraps. You don't want anybody else to realize that you're feeling this way. The Knight of Swords is actually in the challenge position. This is because you're having a very hard time figuring out why you feel this way or why things are this way. You're looking for a sense of clarity, but it feels like there's a block in your ability to find the clarity. Either that or the clarity is right there in front of you and it's just something you don't want to accept. Is how I see that part. Okay, so where are we going in the near future? And why does it, you have to come to the edge, so they want you to take a leap of faith in a different direction? Is that what spirits say? Maybe. Okay. Queen of Cups in the near future. Three of Cups. Challenge is the Six of Wands. Queen of Cups. So you've gone from being the Queen of Wands to now being the Queen of Cups. So you are nurturing, you're maternal, you're very intuitive, you have a tendency to be too empathetic. Sometimes you have a hard time holding up your boundaries as the Queen of Cups, okay? Very emotionally mature, though, as far as you understand the emotions of yourself and the people around you, so that looks like you're getting through that part. Three of Cups, there absolutely is a tendency towards possibly overindulging here in something or everything. The challenge is the Six of Wands. The challenge here is what other people think. You're very worried about your image or the way people are perceiving you. It looks as though you are building a persona that you're not happy with, or other people are judging you in a way that you are having a problem with in the near future. And because you're in Queen of Cups, it makes you super sensitive to that. So it's like you are very deeply hurt by what other people are thinking or saying, causing you to overindulge possibly. Okay, bottom I've got Knight of Cups, the Magician, and the King of Wands. Some sort of an offer in love is coming forward. It's something that you've manifested, and then it looks like you kind of sabotage it because you are, I don't know, you want something to be close to you and then you don't want it once it gets there. Be very mindful of this, because if this is what you're doing, you know, one time you might get away with it, but repeatedly you're going to really start to rack up bad karma on that. Either you want to be with somebody or you don't, right? It's not a, yeah, that's how I see that. You look very indecisive right now about what you want. I've got the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Wands, and the Devil. The Devil looks to be front and center right here with some sort of temptation, huh? Ace of Wands, Ace of Swords. I mean, these are both opportunities. There's an opportunity for newfound inspiration, and there's an opportunity to step into your authenticity. But it looks as though the Devil is bringing temptation forward to try to stump both those opportunities from you. And it appears that you're having a very hard time saying no. I'm not sure why. What's these? I got the Page of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, so 3 of 4 aces now, and the 6 of Swords. Page of Swords, you're looking for clarity, but you're looking at all the wrong places. You're not going to the source to actually ask what's going on. Ace of Pentacles, there's an opportunity to make money here. There's an opportunity for everything other than love so far. 6 of Swords. But not if you stay in this chaotic situation you're in right now. You've got to get yourself to a sense of peace, a sense of, I don't know, self-awareness and understanding who you are and what you're doing to take advantage of any of these aces. Otherwise, the Devil will prevail here, is what I see, okay? You need to get grounded and get focused, okay? It's just time. Yeah. That's how I see this. Okay. Okay, Libra. Let us see what you got going on today. We'll start with an oracle card and see what this says, just to try to get a theme for what's going on for you. Let's see. For my Libras. All right, Libra. Okay, you got number 5. 5 is orphaned, which reminds me of the 5 of Pentacles, if I remember right, but let's check and make sure. Okay. Okay, the essential meaning, a sense of loss, an identity crisis, recognizing that you don't fit in, the need to belong, uncertainty about your place. So very similar to the Five of Pentacles. Okay, let's see how it plays into tarot. So this would be like you're coming from a place where you're obviously not feeling that you fit in where you once did, or you're feeling alienated by some sort of a group or a person here. Okay, come on, cards. Okay, let's see. For my Libras. Okay, so you're opening with the Emperor. Emperor up front. Followed by the Devil. And then I've got the Dream in the challenge position. So, to me, it looks as though you're somewhat obsessed with a sense of control. And possibly you are coming across as being obsessed with some sort of you have to be in charge. It has to be done your way. There's no other way to do anything, is how it's coming across to me. And in doing so, you have managed to alienate the people who cared about you the most, or the people that were the closest to you. It is this inability or unwillingness to compromise, and just really a total sense of control. Now, all that being said, I'm not saying that you're not doing all of it for the greater good. There's nothing here saying that you're doing it with nefarious intent. You have everybody's best interest at heart, but there has to be an element of free will, and that element is missing when you take control. Okay? Even if you're doing it to try to push people in the right direction, it still is a problem. Okay? The challenge here is the Dream. So the challenge here is that you are doing all these things to try to achieve some sort of a dream that you're after, something that you're going towards. And I'm sure it is heaven on earth, right? It is something that is very much so in everybody's best interest, no doubt. But everybody else has to make the decision to go for that same dream. It can't be made by you for other people. And that seems to be where the issue is, or this was the issue. This is your backstory. So in the backstory, this is what we have a problem with here. This is where the problem starts. So that's already happened, though. Let's see where we're at currently. Where are we at currently? Okay, currently I've got you with the King of Pentacles, so you're in boss energy. The Sun is in the center of the deck, okay, center of your read. And the challenge is the Hermit. So, the fact that you are being this way, or the fact that this is your overall demeanor right now, seems to have been illuminated not only to you at this point, but to everybody around you. I get the feeling that you being this way, it's kind of like it's like your way or the highway, right? You're going to do it my way or you're out. That's how the overall thing is coming through. So you being that way has caused those closest to you to pull their energy back and try to reassess the situation. So this is why you're feeling alone, right? You're feeling ostracized or alienated because everybody's pulled their energy back because they don't want you to control their every move. They don't want you to be in control of what happens in their life. That doesn't mean they don't want to be around you necessarily. They want to be around you possibly, but not if you're going to make it that way. They want the freedom to choose to be there. Okay? Is how I read this so far. Okay, so where are we going in the near future? For Libra. All right, Libra, where are you going? Okay, the Empress. So now we have the Emperor and the Empress here. So you're now trying to nurture something. The Six of Swords. This is all about you trying to steer this whole situation into calmer waters and find a sense of peace. And the challenge is the King of Wands. I feel like you're still trying to control the narrative here. I think you're trying to do it from a nicer place, maybe. But I don't feel like anything's truly changed at the core here. The challenge being the King of Wands coming in under the Hermit, I feel like these are the people that have walked away or that are trying to reassess whether or not they want to be a part of the situation with you over the fact that they say you're too controlling or you're too controlling. That's what they're saying. I feel like many of them are opting to no longer want to be tied down or restricted by your desires, what you want out of the situation. They want free will. They want the ability to make their own choices. They're trying to break free of chains, basically, that they feel as though you have on them, because that's how they're feeling. Okay, bottom of the deck, what do we got? The Death card, the Hierophant, and the Three of Cups. You have friends here who definitely at one time had a much higher level of commitment to you. They had this commitment to you because they felt it was equal give and take. They felt like there was commitment on both sides. And truly there really was and still is on your side as well. But somewhere in the process you decided that you were going to run the show and make sure everything went the way you wanted it to. And they feel very unseen and unheard and definitely misunderstood. It's causing a transformation in all things that are somehow tying back to you right now. It feels like everything that you thought you had set in stone is suddenly crumbling and things are changing quickly. It is because you were almost being a tyrant and ruling over a situation, and that wasn't fair. So it looks like people, almost like your little army has revolted or something here, is how I see this. Okay, I have the Two of Pentacles, the Eight of Wands, and the Six of Cups. You do have a ton of history with some of these people, and they do care about you, but they're choosing themselves at this point because you have been very hard to deal with, is what I see. Eight of Wands, there's definitely blocks in communications. I feel like some of these people aren't talking to you at all. Two of Pentacles, there's a huge imbalance here. Three more and we're out of this. I've got Justice. That's your card, so you're standing in your power there. Ace of Wands and the Page of Cups. Yeah, you need to say you're sorry, and you need to mean it. And it needs to incur some kind of change then. Because if you say you're sorry and nothing changes, then it's pointless, you know. I feel like that may be something that's already happened here in the past. All of this being said, I cannot stress this enough. It is not that you did it from a dark place, okay? But it doesn't change the fact that it's happened, okay? So, that's what I see. You have to understand you cannot make people do things and you cannot control them like this. It's really not worth having people around you unless they want to be there. And some of these people truly want to be there, but not if you're going to make it so they have to be. Okay, that's what I see there. Alrighty, Scorpio. Let's see what the cards have for you. Oops, I left a card out. We can't do that. Come on, come over here. Okay, we got it now. Okay. For my Scorpios, we are trying to see if we get you an oracle card for a theme, and then we will see how tarot plays in, okay? All right, you got Milk and Honey, number 51. Okay, for my Scorpios, Milk and Honey. What do we got on that? 51. No, 41. Right there. Okay. Milk and honey, the essential meanings. The taste of prosperity, opportunities born of authenticity, nurturing abundance, and trusting that your needs will be met. So very similar, I guess, to Ten of Pentacles, huh? All right, let's see. Let's see how that plays in. That appears to be a great card, so let's see, Scorpio. Okay, this one's going to be for my Scorpios. There we go. We've got Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio. All right, you're opening with the Six of Pentacles. Well, there you go. Followed by the Tower. Okay. And the challenge position is the Ace of Pentacles. So this is your backstory or your recent past. I feel as though you were involved in a situation where possibly there was a lack of reciprocity. It caused the tower to fall, so it caused the situation to crumble, basically, or the foundation beneath it to crumble at any rate. And I think that this was a situation that was incredibly hard for you. Very sad, very devastating, right? However, you didn't realize when it was happening that something was falling together so something else could come together, right? Something fell apart so something else could come together. And it looks like the opportunity that came after this fell apart was really where this Milk and Honey is all about, right? There's some sort of an opportunity that's come towards you since this fell apart that makes all of it worth it, it looks like. Okay, so that's the backstory, or where we're working from. Currently, where are you at? I've got the Emperor. Okay. Followed by the Five of Swords, and that's in the center of your read. And the challenge is the Fool. So, so this new opportunity comes towards you. It looks like things are picking up and getting better. The Emperor to the Five of Swords. So you are knee-deep in some sort of an argument or conflict here. And unwilling to compromise. Boy, this is a theme today. But you're unwilling to compromise your position on a situation, even though I believe you know you're wrong. I really do. I believe that either you know you're wrong about a situation that you're fighting over, or something you're doing here, you know you're in the wrong, but you're unwilling to let it go. It's like instead of letting something go or compromising or admitting you're wrong, you're doubling down on it because you just don't want to appear weak, or you don't want to, I don't know. Don't feel alone, Scorpio. That has been the theme all night tonight with these readings. You're in good company. Okay, what do we got now? Near future. Page of Cups. Yeah, you need to apologize for something. Two of Wands. I mean, the ball's in your court. The decision's up to you. If you're going to apologize and try to go forward in that direction, or you're going to double down again and just keep going backwards, I guess. I don't know. The challenge is the Strength card. So the challenge is you're too strong. The challenge is you're using your strength in the wrong way. Bottom of the deck, Six of Cups, King of Wands, Nine of Cups. So you have a ton of history here with somebody. This person is coming in as your counterpart, I believe, King of Wands. They are your wish fulfillment. Is that who you're fighting with? Oh. The Five of Cups, the Road, and the Knight of Pentacles. So there's a path you want to go down here. There's a road you're seeing that's going to lead to whatever it is you want. With the Knight of Pentacles right now, you're almost stagnant, just not getting any traction because you're too busy being regretful and sad. But no matter how sad and regretful you are, you're unwilling to compromise your position or to admit you're wrong and say you're sorry. I don't understand this. This has got to be in the stars because, I mean, I've done 3 decks total, and I mean, lots of readings, and everybody seems to be coming out with basically the same situation or close to it. Four of Swords, you need time to heal. Seven of Pentacles, you have to decide where you're going to invest, and justice is going to prevail here. Because you are so adamant about not saying you're sorry or compromising, it feels like justice is going to prevail against you, right? I'm confused by why it is such a constant theme tonight. I really am. It looks like abundance is all around you right now. It's just a matter of you reaching out to grab it, but you are too busy trying to hold up a position that seems foolish to me, but maybe to you it does not. 3 more. What you got? Knight of Swords. You're looking for clarity. 5 of Wands and the 9 of Wands. You're looking for clarity about some sort of competition or something, a competition that's left you quite wounded. Is that what this is all about? Some sort of competition that left you feeling wounded? Okay, Scorpio, it looks like you are definitely standing in your own way right now, causing your own problems. I mean, we all do that to some extent. This looks like it's a bit extreme. It's like you're fighting for something, and I don't even think you want whatever you're fighting for anymore. You know, but because you don't want to lose, you continue to fight or something. You're hanging on to something that you don't even want anymore because you don't want to lose. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It does sound toxic, but that is what I see in these cards. So, okay. Hey there, Sagittarius. All right, let's see what you got going on. We'll start with an oracle card and see what the theme for this might be. I'm having trouble keeping devices charged right now, so I'm sorry the angles aren't that great, but We're going to get it done. That's what we're doing. We're going to get it done. Okay. For my Sagittarius, what'd you pull? Serendipity. Okay, number 18. So let me see what that's all about. And then we will move along to tarot. So number 18, 15, 19. See how I'm good at that? I just did right past it. Serendipity. The essential meanings. Opportunity allied with readiness. The awareness of synchronicity. Luck and good fortune appearing as signs and symbols. And a magical alignment of events. Basically destiny or karma playing out, right? But in a positive way is how it looks. Okay, Sagittarius. You're supposed to be the luckiest sign in the zodiac anyway. So let's see where this all leads us. Oh, this is an awful angle. I am so sorry. And I don't have enough light, huh? Does that help? Not really. Okay, well, we'll go with it. That's going to frustrate me, but that's okay. Here we go. For my Sagittarius. Sagittarius, Sagittarius, Sagittarius. Alrighty, guys. What are you opening with? You're opening with the Ten of Pentacles. Well, so far we're looking good. Only 2 cards in, but still, so far. The next card is the Knight of Wands. Okay? And the challenge here is Temperance. Now, Temperance is actually your card. So this is you standing in your power. But what they're speaking of here, I'm sure, is that there is a lot of patience being required of you right now to attain something that you're after. So, this is your backstory or your recent past. It would appear that you are hot on the tails of trying to build your Ten of Pentacles. Fair enough. Knight of Wands is how I often think of you anyway. So this is you being your normal Sagittarius-y self. Up for adventure, kind of impulsive at times. Definitely full of fire and passion. And that's how you're attacking this quest towards this Ten of Pentacles. I'm sorry. I'm tired now. Temperance is the challenge because obviously, like I said, you're having to exhibit far more patience than you're comfortable with. You would be far happier if this happened yesterday, not in a little while, right? So far it's not bad. Let's see. That's the backstory. Where are we at currently? Come on. Shuffle. Okay. Currently it looks like we are with, okay, the Hierophant, followed by the Eight of Pentacles. That's the card in the center of your read. And then I have the Five of Pentacles. So I feel like you're on a journey right now. Okay, Sagittarius, and I feel like you are totally committed to this journey. I feel like you are all in to trying to attain this goal. But I do feel like there are times on this journey where things are pretty lonely. I feel like you spend a significant amount of time here lately feeling as though you are alienated or ostracized out of a group of people that maybe you once fit in with. It's like you've evolved, and so you just don't quite fit into the same spots that you once did, and I think that is proving to be somewhat lonely for you. I assure you it is just a hallway, or it's temporary. It's not a full-time thing, but that doesn't help when you're feeling blue about it, right? So this is where they're saying where you are at currently. So you are completely committed to the quest you are on, but you do feel somewhat lonely. Okay, you can handle lonely because you're going to get to your goal. So let's see where we're going from here. I said you can. Anyways, let's see. So from here, what's in the near future? Near future. What you got there? Okay, Two of Wands. Decisions, right? Never ends on that part. Three of Pentacles. Okay, new collaborations, probably to pull you out of the loneliness. And then in the challenge position, we have the Star. So with the Star being in the challenge position, it's saying that this loneliness or this trying to pursue a goal or whatever is starting to wear on you. So it looks as though your constant optimism starts to fade a little bit here in the near future. It is something to definitely be mindful of. You will get to your goal much quicker when you are optimistic about how to get there versus when you're being all cynical and angry, right? So I'd keep an eye on that. Two of Wands, there's decisions to be made. And Three of Pentacles, there's definitely new collaborations coming towards you to try to help you along your way. No doubt there's some negative collaborations coming towards you too, but it's all about you being able to tell the difference, right? So let's see. Okay, who we got on the bottom now? Okay, the Death card, the Eight of Cups, and the Ten of Wands. And I feel like this is what you've had to walk away from. I feel like you had to walk away from something that still held some value to you so that you could lay this burden down and go into a transformation, which I think you're coming out the other side of already now. but it has still been, you had to make sacrifice to get to where you are. I don't think that you're doubting it was worth it, but I do think you are less than happy about how long it's taking to get to where you want to be. That's not that big of a deal, though. I really don't think it's that big of a problem. Here we go. 6 of Wands, King of Pentacles, and the 3 of Wands. People are watching you, Sagittarius. They're watching you because they can see success is coming your way. They're watching to see how you deal with it, how you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? You're definitely being observed by many right now. So try not to step too far out of line, right? Just because you want to be an inspiration to people, you don't want to mislead them or take them down the wrong path. King of Pentacles, you're headed for this boss energy in the near future. It looks like, and it looks like you are ready for it as well. I got my cards, I don't know which way. Let's see. 3 more, and then we'll get you out of here because this is pretty good. I don't want to mess it up. Everything looks good here. Okay, 2 of Swords, 4 of Wands, 5 of Wands. When I tell you people are watching you, that can't be all positive. So there are still people out there that are going to gossip about you or have things to say out of jealousy or whatever. 4 of Wands, you're exactly where you're supposed to be right now. This is happening in divine timing. You're going to have to wait that part out. 2 of Swords, more decisions, you know. I'm sure that's a daily thing where you have to make more decisions to stay on the right path. But it looks like you've got this under control, Sagittarius. You are definitely headed in the right direction, and there is abundance at the end of this rainbow, okay? All right, that's what I have for you today. Hey there, Capricorn. Okay, let's see what we have for you today. We'll start with an oracle card and see what that tells us about a theme, and then move on to tarot, okay? So for my Capricorns, let's see, one more. Okay, Capricorn, we're going to split it in here. Okay, you got breathe. So number 29 is breathe. Let's see what it has to say. Right here. Okay, it's right there. Breathe. So the essential meanings are patience, waiting, going slowly, wellness, meditation, and trust. So I think it's a lot like temperance then, huh? Maybe. All right, let's see how tarot plays into that. Okay, for my Capricorns. Capricorn. Here we go. Okay, this one's for my Capricorns, Capricorns, Capricorns. Okay, you are opening with the King of Pentacles. So, King of Pentacles, followed by the 6 of Cups. Okay, and the challenge is the Hermit. So what this is your backstory or your recent past, and it would appear that you were in boss energy, okay, feeling semi-nostalgic about things around you or about your life in general. The challenge here in the recent past was that you seemed to be keeping yourself away from people in general. So you were in hermit mode, not really putting yourself out there. Yeah, kind of like you withdrew your energy from things around you. Excuse me. But this is your backstory, so this has already taken place. Okay, so that's what we have for your backstory. Let's see where you're at currently then. Okay, currently we have the 9 of Cups. The 7 of Wands is going to be the card at the center of your read. Okay, and the challenge is the Strength card. So, having the 7 of Wands in the center here is telling me that you are incredibly defensive. Now, I'm sure you have good reason to be defensive. I'm sure things in your life have not always worked out hunky-dory, right? So that's where the defensiveness comes from. You're trying to keep yourself from getting hurt. But if keeping yourself from getting hurt means you're going to keep yourself in hermit mode, then it's going to be very hard for you to find the things that you need to try to find to achieve this great sense of happiness or true love, right? You have to get out amongst the people to find these things usually. 9 of Cups would tell me that that is your wish fulfillment, is to find some sense of community, I guess. I don't know. It looks like you're searching for a sense of community. That's what I see. On the Strength card, I cannot talk now, I'm tired. The Strength card in the challenge position is telling me that you're feeling somewhat weak. All Or maybe you feel like if you do come back out around the people, it makes you appear weak. I don't think that you are as strong as you appear to others. I think that is somewhat of a facade, but I think it's one you've worked very hard to curate. You've really made this facade believable. So I think you don't want anything to damage that or to change that look, I guess. That's where I've got you currently. Let's see what you got going on going forward. Okay, so in the near future. It doesn't look like you're necessarily unhappy right now. I just think there's another level of happiness you're looking for. Okay, near future. 4 of Swords. Okay. 8 of Wands. And in the challenge position, the Magician. So, 4 of Swords is you trying to heal from whatever it is that is causing you to be so defensive. You are trying to heal that so that you are, I'm sorry, in a better position. 8 of Wands next to it, there is definitely something about you having a very hard time expressing yourself right now. I think you try, but it takes a lot, and it's falling out under the 7 of Wands, so you're still very defensive, not terribly trusting of everybody around you, so I think you're struggling to open up, okay? The Magician is all about, it's in the challenge position, so you're having a hard time focusing on what it is you want to manifest. I don't know that you've made your mind up in that direction yet. So there's really nothing here that's all that bad. It's just, I think there's more good that you want, so that's what you're after. You know, when things aren't bad, but they're just not exactly where you want them, that's how this feels to me. Okay, the bottom of the deck, 6 of Pentacles, King of Swords, and 4 of Wands. There is something here about you fearing reciprocity or fearing the fallout from something where you feel you were unfair with a soulmate. So it looks to me like there is a situation here where you feel that if you were the judge and jury, you would have to say that you had been unfair towards somebody. This person that you were unfair towards looks like it was a higher level soulmate. I feel like you're judging yourself more harshly than anybody else is going to judge you, but it's something that it seems you're thinking about it. You're putting a lot of thought into it. Almost like it's keeping you from moving forward in a different situation for fear that karma will play out. If that's don't take that if it doesn't resonate, but if that is your situation, that is what I see in these 3 cards. Like maybe there is something in front of you that does look like a solid opportunity and you're almost afraid to take it for fear that if you open yourself up, karma will play out over something from the past. Okay, it's the only thing I've seen so far that looks at all negative, I guess you could say. And I'm not so sure that it's a reality. It could just be you, just the way you're looking at it. But okay, I've got the World card, the Page of Cups, and the 10 of Cups. This is all about a cycle closing out. If you can say you're sorry, and it will free you up to be able to go towards some sort of emotional fulfillment. But I get the feeling that the cycle cannot energetically close out until you can find a way to take accountability possibly and say you're sorry. That seems like a silly little thing, right? But it seems very important in this situation because it allows somebody else to find closure. Is how I see that. Okay, 3 more and we're out. What do I got here? Ace of Wands, 3 of Swords, 3 of Wands. Ace of Wands is speaking of you finding inspiration. 3 of Swords is you trying to heal a heartbreak. I don't even know if it's yours. I think you're trying to heal somebody else's heartbreak, but it might have been caused by you. And the 3 of Wands, as soon as you can do that, you can start focusing further into your future, but it feels like you have some loose ends that need to be tied up first, is how I'm seeing it. Nothing you can't handle, okay? All right, overall, pretty good reading. There you go, for Capricorn. Alrighty, Aquarius. Oops, wrong deck. Let's see what we got here. We are going to start with an oracle card just to get some kind of a theme and then move on from there, okay? So for my Aquarius, let's see, what you get? We'll go in, how about there? Treasure Island. Okay. What number? Number 9, Treasure Island. That sounds like a good one. Let's see what you got. Treasure Island. Okay, number 9. It says the essential meanings are the law of attraction bringing dreams into fruition, the results of positive thinking made manifest, abundance appearing as if from nowhere, financial gains, and the sharing of good fortune. Well, there we go. Let's just close the reading right there. That looks all good, right? It's a good thing. All right, let's see how tarot plays into it. All right. Okay, for my Aquariuses. Okay. From the top. Okay, you're opening with the Strength card. Okay. Followed by the Queen of Swords. And the challenge is the High Priestess. So this is your backstory or your recent past. I do feel like you're presenting here as the Queen of Swords. You're very comfortable there, though. I mean, so it's not a stretch. You are coming through somewhat cold. Very defensive. Definitely trying to protect your energy. Definitely looking at things very black and white. Okay, this is right, that's wrong, period. Demanding truth out of people. You know, that's just something that you feel like you've had enough of deception or untruths around you. So you really want people to come towards you with truth. You're not leading with emotion, that's for sure. The Strength card is here because I feel like you are coming across very strong. I don't know that you're quite as strong as you are portraying, maybe, but you are definitely pushing that out there, pushing out the, I don't know, the image of somebody who's incredibly strong. I think you do it in like a defense mechanism so nobody can mess with you, right? The High Priestess on the other side, there is a sense of something here that's being kept very silent. I think it has something to do with either your pain or your insecurities. There's something here that you are hiding from people around you. I don't think you're having to work very hard at it, and it is because maybe you're feeling a little bit unseen. People aren't paying attention to what is wrong. I get the feeling that's how you feel right now. There's things wrong and people aren't really noticing and it's upsetting you, but you're keeping that under wraps is how I see this. So this is your backstory, your recent past or backstory. So everything I'm talking about right here feels like it's already happened. Some of it is probably still happening, but at any rate, this is what we're building off of. So, okay. What you got? What's that? So we have the Nine of Pentacles, okay? The Knight of Cups. And the Page of Pentacles. So, Nine of Pentacles, beautiful energy, and it fits right in with everything else we're saying here. You are definitely very, I don't know, very independent right now. Nobody's telling you what to do. I mean, they can tell you if you want, but you're going to do what you want, right? You're not doing what you're told right this second. You're very independent, self-made, self-reliant. You're not really needing anybody. A lot of you, I don't feel like you even want anybody. It just feels like you're very happy within your own little situation here. Knight of Cups in the center. You know, when you don't want anybody, that's when they show up, because it does look like there's an offer coming through in the current. The challenge here is the Page of Pentacles. The challenge is you are very established already. You're already very much so content, I guess, with your current surroundings. Like I said, your life right now is not bad, and by any means. And I don't know that you're willing to take a risk on starting over. So like Page of Pentacles would be building a new foundation. I don't feel like you're very eager to take on new things or start from scratch with something. That's just how I see this. So I think you're kind of holding off. If you do want this offer, it looks like there's some sort of an offer coming through in love, but that's up to you if you want to go that route or not. Okay, so what do we have in the near future? None of this looks bad. It all looks okay. I mean, I think you've built a life that you're fairly content in right now. Okay, but you're wondering if there's more, maybe. Okay, I've got Judgment in the near future. The Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Wands is in the challenge position. Judgment. So, I feel like you're judging the people, anybody who's not in your group. I think you have a very close-knit, cliquey type group that you're part of right now that you have surrounded yourself with. Anybody not in that group, I don't think you're really eager to let anybody else in at all. And you don't care if they judge you. You just don't. Eight of Pentacles, you know, you're very committed to your peace right now. That's what it is. Yes, maybe there's something more out there, but in order to get to the more out there, you feel like it would be a gamble that's not worth the payout to you. I don't know. It just feels like you may want more in some ways, but I don't think you're willing to risk it. You're not willing to risk your peace for it, is what it looks like to me. The challenge here, the Eight of Wands, I don't know that you're very effectively communicating the things that are bothering you to anybody. I think you think they should just be able to figure it out. That's not really fair, but, you know, that's up to you. You do it your way. I'm definitely not going to tell you what to do. But maybe you could work harder on communicating whatever it is you want or need. That might be helpful. Bottom of the deck, Four of Pentacles. See, this is you not wanting to let go of something. You're not letting go of your peace for anything. You're just not. Period. I don't care what kind of shiny pot of gold they put over there. If it means you're going to run the risk of losing the peace you've got right now, I can't see it. I don't think you're doing it. Wheel of Fortune and the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah. Like I said, there may be things in your life that you wouldn't mind improving or that you think could be better, but I don't think any of those things come through as being able to pay off enough to be worth the risk of losing the peace you have right now. That's how I see you looking at it. So you're not striving for more right this second. You are just striving to maintain what you have and not let anybody disrupt it, is how I feel about it. That's what I see. Four of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, the Fool. With the Four of Cups, I don't think this is you that's not really satisfied. I think there's people around you that want more for you, or they want you to go do more. You know, they feel like what you have is not enough, you need more. But they're not bothering to really stop and talk to you because I think you're pretty good where you're at. So other people are pushing you to try to get you to do more. They want you to take a leap of faith in a different direction. I think you're sitting quite unbothered as the Queen of Pentacles. I just don't think you are in the mood to be bothered. Now, if you are, if this is not your part of the reading, then by all means, it looks like there's some offers that are coming in and you should be able to grab a hold of them. But you have to be willing to risk something, and I just don't think you're willing to risk much. And that's okay. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it right there because I think I've pretty much got that's what I see for this week anyways. That could change by next week, but this week you seem pretty content and not willing to risk things. So, all right. That was Aquarius.